All right. Hello, beautiful people. This is Matthew from Day and Night Podcast. As always, you got Marcus in San Antonio.
How everybody doing?
I'm going to keep repeating myself. Beautiful people, like, subscribe, and comment. The more you like and comment, the more the logarithm is going to actually pick us up, and it's going to show our show a lot more. So even if you don't want to, we much appreciate it. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't even look at it, just like it. So we can actually branch out and, more people to actually look at it and wants to, find out some different perspectives or hear some different perspectives, they can do so. But yeah, I don't know about you. I know you said you was resting, but I just got finished looking at that Buffalo and Minnesota game.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I was off and on, falling asleep on it, but yeah.
Oh my God, that joker came down to the wire. It topped that game last year with Kansas City and Buffalo. Mm-hmm. I mean, it literally was like 13 seconds and Buffalo came back.
Yeah.
Got the field goal. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-hmm. I saw it.
That's crazy. So I don't know, man. Minnesota, it just might be their year. Because they should have lost that game, but they fought. They stayed in it. So.
Well, I mean, but I say that's luck.
You said that's luck?
I say luck has a lot to do with it. They like the Eagles. They get lucky with their wins. I don't think the Eagles ever got that lucky because when he fumbled that ball, when they could have just downed the ball, the game would have been over, and they fumbled the exchange.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Minnesota's lucky because they should have lost. Like, I mean, it could have been either way because Minnesota should have won on that touchdown, but they said his knee was down, so they could have won earlier. But I think Minnesota's good, but they beatable.
Right.
They don't look indestructible. It's the same thing like I've been saying. There's no clear dominant team. Anybody, Tampa Bay look good today. Yeah. I think they back. I think that win going to catapult them, because that was a good win. Yeah. So they going to be dangerous. Minnesota, Dallas is playing good right now. Yeah. The Giants is playing good. So San Francisco is a team I really honestly think is going to be the one that people going to forget about. And they're going to win the Super Bowl because they got all their players back. So if they win today, I think they're going to be the hardest team to put out in the playoffs.
I don't know. I'll say this. This year is definitely – last year I thought was good playoffs. But this year, I think it's going to be any better because it's so wide open. Like, there's no clear cut. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Anybody can win it. So I can't wait to see how the end of the season ends and, what happens in the playoffs. But so you had a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Checked out Black Panther.
Oh, you did go see it?
Yeah, that was good. It was long. It was long as hell, but it was good though.
All right, well don't spoil it for me.
No, I'm not going. I ain't gonna say nothing about it, but it was good. I think you'll like it.
In a world of envy, analyze as these guys looks to see. They clones to the naked eye, the dynamic dude. No pesticides, they organic. Day and night's the podcast. In panoramic in 4K, live streaming on your airwaves. No cliche to downplay, this ain't no child's play. Twin brothers close-knit bonding. They wonders of the world, they monsters. The twin Tompkins, brought on only born. They travel the world stomping at the break of dawn daily. The iron's pumping, my brain no brothers, about to bring you their life. Look no further, everybody cause it's day and night.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So this week is episode 14, and it's kind of a piggyback off of episode 13, which was cancel culture. So for me, I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm getting to the point to where that whole Kyrie situation is getting out of hand. I just feel as though it's getting taken and it's getting blown out of proportion. I think the owner of the Brooklyn Nets is like doing his damnedest to break that man. So I wanted to try to shift focus and not just talk about anything negative, not being that, most of our podcast was negative, but just as far as like social media, I don't know if anybody else perceive it that way, but just as a black man, I feel as though in the last year or so, and even just throughout life and history, we always get a bad rap. And I think it's important for especially young black males that they have something positive that they can look at, something they can grasp and hold on to, opposed to always looking at something that's negative with us. And that's just not the whole story about, black men. So I just wanted to do something different with this podcast. So I got about 9-10 slides I'm going to post up. I don't know if you can see what I have now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, the BEme, pronounced BEme.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of research, and like I said, I was digging to try to find something positive that, us as black men, especially young black men, can hold on to. So basically what this is, it's this movement that's called BEme. And as you see on the screen, it's pronounced BEme. So it's a growing network of black men committed to making their community stronger. So there's actually a group, or not a group, but there was a meeting in Philadelphia, Baltimore, Detroit. And basically what it is, like you got 3 different founders for 3 of those cities. So actually it's today is going on, November the 13th. So in Baltimore, Chris Wilson, he just launched a community business school in the Barclay neighborhood to help people with entrepreneurial acumen learn the skills they need to build to be successful in business. Then in Detroit, you have Booker Snow. He's a former youth coach and a counselor, Detroit Pistons. So he helps families in the east side of the neighborhood, that deals with personal tragedies, by working with Crime Stoppers. And it takes a village, for y'all to obtain information about missing people and victims. In our home city, Philly, which I was glad to hear about because we get a bad rap as far as with all the killings and murders and stuff that's going on. Well, that's the same thing, but all the stuff that's going on negatively. So you have the young brother, Antoine Bullock. He's an entrepreneur as well, and he invests in small business to help others, in his community to start their own business and find funding, networking, and so forth. So I just want to get into it a little bit about as far as what we can do as, black men to not only bring up our communities, but to put out, something positive. Because I know myself, sometimes I focus on the negative opposed to, getting out and doing something, because they don't have to take celebrities. I know for the last couple of years or so, I never said anything to you, but, people here that I talk to and deal with, I always say, why aren't the celebrities and athletes doing more? And it doesn't take a celebrity or athlete or entertainer, to get out in the communities and be a positive role model, like I said, to turn that narrative around as far as based off of who we are and to stop with all this negative perception of who we are, or negative narrative of who we are. So I'm just curious, what do you have to say about that? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a great idea. I think it's something that needs to be done. And it is positive black, role models out there that does uplift the community. And I think, like you said, that's a good way of doing it, what they're doing in these cities. And I think it should continue, and other cities should start piggybacking off of that to have it grow to where it shows that, we do care about our community. And like you said, the nail on the head is the youth. Because us older generation, we have to prepare them for what's coming in the future. And the best way of doing that is reaching out in the community and be active with them and show them that they cared and loved, and give them guidance and mentor them. And I think that would be the difference on positivity for black role models and young up and coming black role models. Because I think we don't see it, and you said it. The media don't want to highlight the positive because they want to keep that negative narrative that all athletes are good, but they doing something bad, either speaking out on something political or they getting caught up doing something they shouldn't be doing, that's they consider deemed illegal. So I think it's good that we have, young Black leaders to show you that, hey, it is positive Black role models out here. They don't have to be athletes. So I think that's a good point. I think, and we know what comes to mind when you said that, his dad was a perfect example because he was in the community. He always interacted with everybody.
Right.
He remember how he'd get us on the steps and talk to us. And I think that was something, now I look back and be like, wow, that was something that Dad did that he didn't have to do. That was inspirational because he was trying to teach the young Black youth. Right. Even though he did more about church more than anything, but he was still being a positive aspect. And I think that's something as far as a non-sports figure, somebody that's a regular guy doing a 9-to-5 job, busting his butt, working hard, could be just as a perfect role model, if not more, because of somebody within the community saying, hey, look, I could be successful and maybe I may not be NBA or football or basketball or whatever player or baseball. I said basketball twice, but baseball, it just shows that, hey, this is somebody that you see every day. To me, you should look up to like a businessman that works, 9 to 5 or construction worker, anything like that could be a role model positive and still have his own business per se on the neighborhood. Remember Mr. J? I think he was perfect for the neighborhood because he had his own successful ice cream parlor. We all used to go over there. Right. And shop. And it's funny, my man AJ, he knows about Mr. J. So the dude's a positive guy. So
that's crazy. Small world, boy.
Yeah. And then the other one, Gene, over there off the little store we used to go over there and get the candy by Juniper. So we have it in the community. I think it's just, I don't know now, because down here in San Antonio, unfortunately, I don't live on the side of town where it's predominantly Black. So I'm sure they have some. I know David Robinson is big in the community. He actually opened up a church. He has a business center, a recreational center that he opened up. And so do George Gervin. So, I mean, it's good. And he's not in the limelight, so to speak, like doing commercials. He's literally within the community and he's always speaking out. So I think he's a perfect example of a Black role model that's reaching out and being positive. And then he's teaching the youth. Because I think that's a lost art that we don't highlight the positive. We always focus on the negative, unfortunately, and it's not like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you brought up some good points because I totally forgot about, Mr. Gene and Mr. J and, and the stuff Dad was doing. And I'm pretty sure a lot of that stuff is still going on. Yeah. But this is why I want to kick this off now is because at least me, when I'm on social media, that's all I see, is as far as what we're doing wrong opposed to what we're doing right. Exactly, and we've been, like I said, we've been kind of taking a hit, with Will Smith, and it's in every aspect: entertainment, music, and sports. So like I said, I just want to focus on the positive things. So this right here, I found out about this, which is pretty cool because I never even heard of this before. So basically, it's like a Smithsonian, like they had a Smithsonian in DC, but this one is a traveling exhibition. And, it's a Men of Change, of Power, Triumph, and Truth. And it says now on view at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum in Maryland. So basically it has African-American culture history with Black men, with the things that, we've done throughout history, from the beginning of time. So, like I said, this is something I never heard of before. And this is stuff that I feel as though that should be advertised and promoted. So there's more of a positive image, for these young brothers coming up, and they don't just see the negativity, rather if it's with rap music and gangster music and, hitting each other, just all the nonsense and stuff that's out there. So I thought this was real interesting. And I don't know if you heard about this, but you should be able to see it. So it talks about the light bulb and the cotton gin. No. And basically... You don't see it?
No, it's still on the be pronounced BEme. That's the only thing that's on the screen right
now. Okay. All right. Well, I have up. So basically what it is, this is another slide, and it's talking about, the invention of the light bulb, the cotton gin, and the iPhone. So these are things that was actually invented by African American inventors. You know, from the traffic light to the ironing board, it's a whole bunch of different things that was invented by, you know, black men that I'm pretty sure most people don't know about.
Right.
Okay, so with the light, the traffic light, now this I do believe was taught in school. I think the average person may know about this. So basically the traffic signal was invented by Garrett Morgan in 1923. So he basically came up with the traffic light because he was basically sitting in traffic one day and it was taking extremely too long. And so he got tired of it. And then he actually went into inventing this traffic light. It was back in the 1920s.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then I don't know if you heard of this brother, the Frederick McKinley. So you know the reefers is what we call them, the rolling refrigerators.
Right. Yeah.
So this was invented by, like I said, Frederick McKinney, which is another black male in the 1940s. So basically, he took more than 60 patents throughout his life. He had created more than 60 patents. And in that was the roof-mounted cooling system, you know, that we use today to refrigerate goods, trucks, you know, during extended transportation in the mid-1930s. So he received his patent for this invention in 1940, and he co-founded the U.S. Thermal Control Company, you know, which was later known as Thermo King. So I don't know if you heard of Thermo King.
No, that's new to me. Honestly, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's like one of the biggest reefer companies, or that produces the reefer vans, is Thermo King.
Okay.
Now I was working with Marriott Riverson, and I would know because they always came in to download the food and stuff. But he is the one that invented this, you know. And it was critical during World War II because it helped preserve food, blood, and supplies during the war. So his invention was significant in that period all the way up until now.
Right. Definitely a trendsetter, changed a lot. He really definitely, Just like my brother with the stoplight. I heard about him. I remember him being taught in school. So I remember hearing about him, the traffic light.
Okay, but, what I'm using right now, the microphone, was co-invented by James E. West in 1964. So basically, he was working for a company. He was tasked with creating, you know, a more sensitive and compact microphone he was working at Bell Labs in 1960. So along with his German colleague, Gerard Sussler, he invented the foil electric microphone, which, you know, considerably less expensive to produce than typically used condenser microphones. So 2 years after that, it was invented. The final model of the microphone was developed, and in 1964, they patented landmark invention. So only 4 years later after that, the new microphone was introduced or was put in wide population, and it was being used for hearing aids, tape recorders, and most microphones, and even baby monitors. So again, that's something that's pretty significant that we use to date that, you know, was invented by a brother. Okay, and now the light bulb. So these are significant things. So the cotton or carbon light bulb filament invented by Lewis Lattimore in 1881. So the reason why I think this is important to emphasize and to illuminate and stuff, because I just feel as though we get put in a box as far as certain things that we can do, and we should only do. I said entertainment, sports, music, and dare I say the military. So I just feel as though he put us in a box, and it kind of teaches our young men that this is the only thing you can do.
Right.
So I don't know how many people out there have known about this, knew about this, and I'm sure there's more that I haven't even touched the bases on. This is stuff I just, you know, found on my own by researching. So I just feel as though if this stuff is actually, like I said, put out there, it's going to change the minds of young black males, and they're going to see themselves other than just, a certain particular job that they can go to or field that they can be in, and they can tap in and say, we were inventors in the beginning of time. We did great things that everybody across the world, not just the United States, is not profiting, but is benefiting from. So, again, I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I mean, yeah, again, just to piggyback on what you just said, it's so obvious that we are so much more than, like you said, athletes and entertainers. We could do so much. They always want to stereotype that that's what we do. That's what we good for. Mm-hmm. Basketball, sports, again, dancing, boxing, something violent.
Right.
They don't try to portray us as thinkers or creators or innovators. And you just proven with the list you just had that we are. And I think that's kind of on purpose, because it keeps you limited on what you believe you can do as a young black male. And I think that's something that needs to be highlighted more. And I think, and it's just while you was telling me that, it just popped in my head. I think if we should do it or somebody would do it, it would be great. We have 1 month out of the year that we consider Black History Month, right? Mm-hmm. And it's always the same history about slavery. And of course, we all know about Martin Luther King, because they want us to know that, because it kind of keep us in that mind frame. Mm-hmm. I was thinking, again, us or somebody come up with an idea on social media, a positive black site, if it's not one already out there, I may not know. So dare I say this, and somebody already doing that, is every month is Black History Month, where you post something that a black person did in the past, like you said, innovative, something that we created that we use every day. And I think just go and research and pick 12, and every month, one day out of that month, you're gonna post and say, Black History Month for December, one thing that's positive that we did, that we innovated, and kind of put a post of what they did, how it became and how it's now from then to now. And I think you start getting followers to see, like, wow, we, black folks did that. And then every month somebody's gonna be hungry for more, to be curious what happened the next month. What did he got this month to show that we did something? It may be little. I think that's a start to try to be positive and highlight young black men, even today, that's doing stuff for the community that you may not hear on social media, because they're not going to highlight it. So that one you probably got to dig a little bit more. But I think every city has that news page where they kind of post stuff about something that's going on in the community.
Right.
And it don't get no highlight or no publicity, so you won't know. So pick that one and add that. Say today's young, successful, up and coming black leaders or innovators, and again, post it, just highlight it. May not get no followers at first, but it's something you're doing your part to be proactive. I think that'll be a good highlight, to try to do something to educate, motivate, inspire, young black youth. They may not look at it because, it may not be appealing to them.
Right.
You got to do something to catch their attention that they identify with, and then post that with that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, we definitely got to make it norm. That's for sure. But I'm definitely going to do it. And, because I'm always posting my stuff about metaphysics and universal stuff. I have a small following. It's not a lot, but it's still enough to somebody will see it. And like I said, just dropping those seeds, that's the thing, is just planting the seeds. So I'm most definitely going to do it. So like I said,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's too easy to sit back and be part of the problem, opposed to not being part of the problem. And so I'm tired of talking. I always say other people mainly athletes and entertainers got to put their foot down and step up. So I'm going to start doing that. Rather if somebody pay attention to it or not, but I won't put it out there and see what happens. So at least that way I know I'm doing my part. Right. Opposed to just sitting back and being the Monday night quarterback complaining about stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I actually follow your page and look to see what you post on your story on the universe and all that. So, like I said, the right person might catch it and it catch their attention. And it's all about networking, word of mouth. You know, I think I'm laws of average. I believe in that. The more you do it, it's going to get more publicity, more attention. Sometimes you do need that one famous person. Unfortunately, that just gives more attention because it's a highlighted person and people know who that is. So it kind of makes people pay attention. But you can use that to put you and get you more exposed too. So, you know, I don't know who's in Atlanta you may know, or even get your daughter because she's getting big. Maybe locally, I don't know, but her face is probably getting familiar. So you use her social media as your platform too. That's like, oh, that's her dad. And then, you know, you saying something about positive Black males and how we need to be and where we should be. It'll catch somebody's attention. Like you said, as long as you do your part, I think that's what counts. You know, everybody, as long as you touch one, sometimes that's more than doing nothing. It's touching one person. One person gets motivated, inspired by you, you did your job. Right. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, so I just posted another one. So this guy, his name is Mark Dean. So from 1980 to 1999, he was basically the creator, inventor of the he helped create IBM, the original machine. Okay, and so he was the driving force of the massive chip that was built in 1999 that allowed for the high processors to move at a faster rate with the personal computers. So that's another brother that was significant in today's future.
You know, and I'm gonna do a little spoiler alert. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut, but it's like I gotta say something because it correlates. It goes with what we're talking about. It wasn't a male, it was a female. Okay. It was a young lady. But it's in the movie, you'll see that. It has something to do about what you're talking about, being an innovator. That's all I'm gonna say.
Which one, Black Panther?
Yes, just see the movie. I love that. That was a little seed in there. You know, some people might get it. Some people may not, but I think it was a good little subliminal message that they put in there. Do what?
No, I said, okay.
Yeah, and I know you'll catch it, so I ain't got to tell, you know, but I'm just saying for the viewers out there. Right. You know, pay attention, because it's not going to be blatant obvious, but it's obvious, you know, the message they're trying to put in there. So, but yeah.
Okay. Now you got me excited, boy. I want to go check it out tonight and see what you're talking about.
Yeah, you got to see it, dude. I mean, it was really good. It was long. It wasn't a lot of action, but it was good. The storyline was good. It's going to go with you because you in history and about meditation, you're going to like it. I think this was the best one. I like it better than the other one, even though Chadwick wasn't in it. But
oh, wow, really?
Yeah. I think they did good following him, like post him and what he's about. It makes sense to continue Black Panther. So, because I was like, how they going to do it with our old boy? But they did good. They did really good. So,
but somebody made a good point. There was like Black Panther is not a person. It's like it's a throne. So even if Chadwick wasn't there, somebody else could have came and become Black Panther.
That's what I'm saying. See the movie, dude. Everybody see the movie. Yeah. If it don't get good reviews, then I don't know what's wrong, because this was a good movie. I think every movie has a part, you're going to critique it, of course, but it wasn't one of those like, man, that didn't make no sense. I thought it was very well directed. Really, I really do. So,
well, it supposedly made $185 million.
Well, you know, it's the first weekend out, so everybody went to the theaters, but it was worth it. I think it was worth it. I'll see it again. Put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely pay to see it again. I wouldn't mind paying to see that again.
All right, so beautiful people, this is going to be a short podcast. You know, like I said, I just wanted to put something positive out there, just to let you guys know that there are some Black men out there that does positive things. We are positive people, and everything about us is not negative. We're leaders in our families. We're leaders in the communities. We're innovators. and everything that goes with it. We're beautiful people, we're kings, we're conquerors. So let's change this narrative. Let's not keep focusing on the negative stuff that's being posted out there. Don't allow social media to paint us a certain way. So brothers, if you're watching this, tap in, send me a comment or something that you feel as though that you want to do, or an idea that you have. Let's change this narrative. Let's start allowing people to see who we truly are and not who they want us to see who we are. So, with that being said, like I said, a thought becomes a belief becomes your manifestation. And just one side note, so this Wednesday is going to be our first live podcast. So make sure y'all tune in, and we'll post or put out what the topic is going to be. So make sure y'all stay tuned, because if you want to comment, I don't think you can call in, but you can comment, send it via, we can answer questions if you have questions for us. And enjoy y'all day, and we'll see you next time, Wednesday, YouTube Live.
Right, guys. Have a good one. Stay positive.
Peace.
Stay focused. Stay consistent.
They wonders of the world, they monsters. The twin Tompkins brought our only born. They travel the world stopping at the break of dawn daily. The iron's pumping. I bring you no brothers, about to bring you their life. Look no further, everybody, cause it's day and night. Let's go.